So episode number 2 of Shot-Time Chef. By popular demand, I'm going to do my spaghetti sauce. Not going to give you all my secrets, but I'm going to give you most of them. So let's get the day started with a nice shot of Jameson. Alright, so today we got 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 pound of Italian sausage, 1 pound of Polish sausage, Krasinski Italian, Heinz 57. My own homegrown herbs. If you don't have that, something of the Emeril's Italian, something like that will be fine. I got diced tomato paste, and tomato sauce. I'm not real sure how much tomatoes I'm going to use, so I got a big box. I got about 4 whole bell peppers, orange and red. I got 1 small to medium white onion, 1 large purple onion, 4 jalapenos, 2 serrano peppers, seeds in, 1 whole head of garlic. Some Rex Goliath Pinot Noir. You can use whatever red wine you like. Today's whiskey of choice again is Jameson, and it's shot time. So, cheers. All right, so now I got my Krasinski Italian. Got it nice and hot and boiling, same as last time. So now I'm going to add all my onions. You'll see a lot of similarities in the preparation of this and the rancho beans. Some preparations you just don't mess with, you know. If it works, it works. So I'm going to add everything I got here. It's going to seem like a lot. It's going to be a lot of sauce. Hot peppers. Gotta love the hot peppers. It's going to take a few minutes to caramelize this much stuff. And I don't necessarily have to show you every step, but then I wouldn't have a good excuse to do a shot with you. So we get this all started in, get it caramelized. Before we get all the way completely done with that, we have to have another shot. So shot time. Alright, so now I've been caramelizing my onions and peppers and my garlic for a little while. It's starting to get thick. All the juice is starting to cook out. Give it a nice stir, nice and hot. And this is where I'm going to add all my Polish sausage. Because I want my Polish sausage to get some of all that. It makes a big difference when you eat your Polish sausage in the spaghetti later. When it's got some of this vinegary, oniony, garlicky, hot peppery goodness in here. It'll make it grease up a little bit in here. Just keep cooking it until that goes away a little bit as well. So don't get in a big hurry. Medium high heat. And it gives me another excuse to have another shot with you. So cheers. I wish we had smell-o-vision.
Oh, I screwed that up.
Do it again.
Oh, I didn't.
Well, you didn't screw it up. Alright, so got my stuff ready here. Looking real nice. Almost all the juice is cooked out of it. So I'm going to turn the heat down to a nice medium low heat. Let's get all this out of the pan. Not worried about every little nook and cranny because I'm about to throw my ground beef right in there. Same as last time, I turned the burner down, electric stove, will take a minute to cool off. 2 pounds ground beef, covered in Heinz 57. Bust it up a little bit, but before I get that far, just like I said earlier, every time I do a little video shoot, it gives me a chance to do a shot with you, so here's another shot. Alright, so I've browned my ground beef, I got it strained. I'm going to throw in my Italian sausage now. Again, covered with Heinz 57. Dump it right into the same pan. Bust that up a little, but once again, another reason, another excuse for another shot pouch. Okay, so now I'm browning my Italian sausage, and if you get a good quality Italian sausage, it's not going to have a lot of grease in it. It's not got a lot of fat in it, but most Italian sausage don't. And as you can see, I put a little extra browning crispiness onto the Italian sausage because I like that personally. You know, and then I can't stress enough how important it is to squish all the grease, all the oil, all the juice out of your ground beef, because when you're making your leftovers and you have leftover sauce and you just don't get that oily, crappy feel in there, and plus you can taste it, you know, and it's just not that good. So with this here, it's ready to go now. I'm going to put this right on top of that. I'll get my big pot out in just a minute, and we will start the next round. And sorry I didn't pour myself a shot. I'll double up next time. Alright, so here we go. If you don't have a pot this size, you can't make a batch of spaghetti the size that I'm making. You can scale it down ever how you like, but everybody needs a pot this size. And not just a pot this size, but a good quality pot, you know? So I still got my burner on medium to medium-low heat. And in this bowl, I have added all my beef, my Italian sausage, and my onions and peppers and stuff, and I've got them all mixed together. We'll dump them right in here. It's a really meaty sauce, because that's how I like it. And never had anybody complain, so I think that it's pretty well received. Okay. Now, pretty good. I'm going to start with a minimum of 3 cans of fire roasted tomatoes. Like I said earlier, don't really know how many cans I'm going to add. Just depends on how the sauce goes. So I'm going to start with 3 fire roasteds. One medium tomato sauce. 2 regular diced. You can get seasoned flavors ever how you like it. And 1 tomato paste. Seems a little excessive at first, but it's not even close to a little excessive. You'll see. It just takes time. You haven't even got to the hardest part yet. The other parts take longer, but the hardest part is yet to come. So we'll give this a good stir up. See how it looks. Oh yeah, that's nice and meaty. We're going to have to add lots more tomatoes. Otherwise it's going to be a meat sauce and not a spaghetti sauce. So, just an example of how meaty the sauce really is. Can you see that? Awesome. Yeah, it's going to take a good bit more tomatoes, but since I said I was going to double up, I have my bottle handy. I'm going to do a shot. I'm going to open up a couple more cans, and then I'll pour them in, and we'll do another. Alright, so I'm back, and after a short assessment, definitely needs more tomatoes, so I'm going to add 4 more cans of tomatoes, so that's a total of 9 big cans of diced tomatoes. Like I said, it's a big batch of spaghetti. It freezes really nice, especially if you have a food saver that sucks all the air out. So 4 more cans of tomatoes, 1 more can of tomato paste, and I actually left out a couple of key ingredients in the ingredient list at the beginning of the show here, so I'm going to share those with you now. I have Parmesan cheese and at least a dozen black olives cut into 8s. I use this for a salt factor. You can add a lot of salt to it to get the saltiness up, or you can add a dozen olives and you put no salt in it, and it's really good. So that's a matter of opinion for you. Me personally, I like this. I'm going to give it a good stir. So I find my spoon. There it is. See, now it's looking like spaghetti sauce. Look at that. Don't that look good? Alright, so now I'm going to add some red wine. Like I said before, I don't really know how to measure, so I'm just going to give it an eye shot. I'm going to say about that much. And I'm going to cover the top of the Parmesan cheese right in the pot. Seems a little unorthodox, but I am not even close to being done with this yet. And I'm going to add some garlic. And if you thought it had enough garlic in it already, you were wrong. Because you only had too much garlic when, I don't know when, I don't think there is such a thing. So there's some more garlic. Red wine, Parmesan cheese, more cans of sauce. Give it a good stir. Make sure you get that red wine all the way down in there, Parmesan down in there. Oh, this is going to be terrible. As it cooks down, you're going to notice that it's going to take a couple of changes. It's going to get juicy on top, and then it's going to get thicker. And then when you stir it again, it's going to get juicy on top, and it's going to get thicker again. One way to combat that. Cover it with Parmesan cheese again. This is the hard part I was telling you about earlier. Got to cover it with Parmesan cheese. Put a lid on it. Let it set for 20 minutes or so. And then I'll be back. So, just like I said, want another shot? Shot time. Shot time, chef, if I didn't forget something. And, you know, I like to think that I have some reason behind that. We have our own little herb garden. We grow our own sage, basil, garlic. The basil grows outside. Everything else grows in the herb garden. Rosemary, thyme. I grind it all up. We dehydrate it, grind it all up. Put it in a little handy container. And this is where you add your Italian herbs. I don't really measure it, as always. Just cover the top nicely, thickly, because it is a lot of sauce. Oh, that smells fantastic. And stir it in. And due to the theme of what I usually do, you'll see it'll be covered with Parmesan again before I put the lid on, because the more Parmesan you put in it and you stir it in as it cooks, just makes it better and better and better and better and better. Now, I would use real Parmesan cheese, but there's some folks in the family who can't handle the real Parmesan cheese. That's okay, because this is really good Parmesan cheese. So, you know what? I aim to please. And there we go. Covered. Stirred in with the herbs. I'll give it a taste test on the next round. We'll do another shot. See how I'm doing now. Alright, so after a taste test and a good half hour or so of cooking it down and letting the Parmesan get in there, I've decided that I need to add a little more tomato, a little more paste, and a couple of other things. So here's what I'm going to do. If you're following along, it's 4 pounds of beef, 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 pound of Italian sausage, 1 pound of Polish sausage. I'm going to add 1 more can of diced tomatoes. That's going to make it an even 10 cans. That's going to make a big batch of spaghetti. That's okay. You know, freezes nice, like I said. 1 more can of tomato paste to thicken it up. With the olives and the Parmesan cheese, and like I said, the hardest part is the waiting. Now, Remember last time when I did the hot pepper juice? After a little time and a little consideration, I decided that it needs a little hot pepper juice. Because, well, I love it, and it makes everything better. So not a whole lot, just a little bit. The herbs, depends on what you put in yours. I don't know. I know you don't know what's in this, but I need a little more. So I'm going to add a little more. Not a lot more, just a little more. I'm going to cover the top with Parmesan cheese again. I'm going to stir it in. And this takes time. It takes lots of time, lots of patience. This is on a low heat, not as low as low can go, but it's on a very low heat. Because it takes time for these things to smell together. You know, and if you rush it, it's not going to be as good. You know, you gotta stir it, you gotta let it sit. You gotta stir it, you gotta let it sit. You gotta stir it, you gotta let it sit. So I stirred it all in. I'm gonna cover it with Parmesan again. Another 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Then you do it again with the Parmesan one more time, and I'll cover that with you, but you know what? This has been a great episode, and I've had a lot of fun doing this. I love making spaghetti sauce. It's one of my favorite things to make. It's a huge batch. It's the only way I know how to make it. If you can figure a way to scale it down for your needs, that's okay. If you can't, make a huge pot. Freeze it, or not. It's okay. You know, eat it. Take it to work. Let your friends eat it. Shot time. Alright, so as per for me, I forgot something again. I want to add a little more red wine to it. I already added the cheese. I was going to let it sit for a little while, but can't put too much Parmesan cheese in it. You just can't. I'm going to add about that much more red wine. I want to make a little mess. Yeah, sorry. I'm going to stir it up again. Get that red wine in there. Oh my gosh. This smells so bad. No, I'm just kidding. It smells fantastic. Cover it with Parmesan again. Now, I let it sit for 20 minutes or a half hour. So, there you go. Hey, welcome back. It's been a good half an hour. It's been sitting here simmering. Cheese is all melted on the top. Stir it in. Like I said, the hardest part. You know, you give it a taste test. You know, you can do the taste, you can serve it whenever you want, but I can tell you, the longer you let it simmer, and the more Parmesan cheese you put on top of it, in 20 minute to half hour intervals, the better it's going to be. So I just stirred it up. I'm going to cover it again. It's going to be another 20 to 30 minutes before I touch it again. And I'm going to cover it up. And for now, one more shot time. I love Jameson. Alright, so it's been a good 3 or 4 20-minute intervals that I've added Parmesan right on top of the sauce and stirred it in and then added it, right? So I'm going to do it one more time with you. It just keeps getting thicker and better every time you do it, but you got to be patient. Like at this point, I've turned it off for a half an hour, but the pot's still really hot. You know, and I stir it, I add my Parmesan, and I stir it, and I add my Parmesan, and I stir it, and I add my Parmesan. So now, like I said, it's been off for a half an hour. I just stirred it up. I'm going to add another layer of Parmesan. I'm going to leave it off at this point. You know, like I said, the hardest part is letting it sit while you wait. Because the longer you wait and the longer you let it sit, and the more times you stir it, the more times you add Parmesan in 20 to a half hour intervals, the better it's going to be. So I just added another layer of Parmesan. I'm going to leave it uncovered now for another half hour or so. And then next time I see you, I'll be pouring some on my plate, and we'll be trying it. But until then, it is most definitely shot time. Just shot time. And I'd like to invite my sous chef in here right now. We're getting ready to get down with our grub on, and maybe we'll invite you back for one last little tiny taste after we get our noodles and stuff on our plate and give you a little taste of that. But we're going to do a shot, and we have successfully did a Shot Time Chef to an entire bottle of Jameson. So cheers to you and your good fortunes if you happen to make this sauce. So. Not bad. Alright, so here we are. It's time to get down with our grub on. So congratulations if you made it through the entire episode. And luckily for us and you, we had a little reserve of Jameson in the back stock. So it's shot time. We're going to do one more shot, and then we're going to give it a taste test. And no way, let's do a taste test first, then do a shot time.
Okay.
Alright, how about that? Alright.
Now mine's on spaghetti squash, as I prefer.
And I'm on noodles, so here we go.
You did it again.
I did it again, didn't I? Alright, so congratulations to you and yours if you make this. And if you don't make it and you just watch it, that's okay too, but I highly suggest that you make this, because it's just good, man. You know, it's just good. So, here's another shot time for you and yours, and happy shot time chefing. Wow, that is freaking good.
Super yum. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Hey, so we're wiping up our plates with our bread and trying to finish it up, and thanks for watching another episode of the Shot Time Chef. This spaghetti sauce is pretty special to me and mine and those who love me, and I would like to give special thanks to my sous chef who did 85 to 90% of all the preparation that we did for this. Maybe 95. Alright, so anyway, so thanks to our reserve of Jameson, like we got little half shots left, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.